Good morning. Now that I have decimated the ranks, we can move forward. The first thing I want to say, like I was talking yesterday about, judgment and understanding and all the rest. If there's going to be judgment, there has to be judgment because you have to be able to make choices. You have to make decisions in order to negate this game. Because life is a game, and if you want to play this game, you have to learn how the game goes. And this is living in accordance with nature, because you have to understand nature, and then it becomes like chess. You move, I move. You move, I move. But you watch everything. You play the whole game. You play the whole game, but this is a game nearly to win. And you see, this is the Buddhist. I have a Buddhist up here, the Buddhist or Taoist or whatever he is at the moment, and he likes to play chess. But he says, I don't play to win, and I don't play to win. But of course, he wants to play chess with me, but I hate chess, because I consider chess a hierarchical system. Like whenever you get an intelligent person comes into the gym or into the hostel, the first thing you want to do is to want to play chess, because they want to establish, an academic hierarchy. I beat you at chess, I must be more intelligent than you. And this is an academic hierarchy. That's why I say I hate chess. But of course he wants to play chess, but he says he doesn't play to win, But for me then, this is bullshit, because why would I even think about this game? Why would I even think about every move if I'm not playing to win? Do you understand? Why would I bother my arse? Why would I bother my arse? But the thing is, yes, they can have no ego. You see, this is the whole Buddhist thing: no ego, no ego, no ego. But this too is a delusion, and it's not understanding nature, because ego descends on them. They can think there's no ego, but then, as I said, the Vikings come or Mao comes, the ego descends itself, and it's very important to retain your sense of self and have a concept of I, and that's why, I commented there in Ecology this morning about what my concept of I is, but that's only the beginning. As I say, I'm a part of nature and cannot be separate from nature. I'm a configuration of atoms. Matter is energy stored, so E equals mc squared. I'm energy, just energy, a form of energy, matter stored. Matter being a configuration of atoms, but then we break down the atom and go further on with the physics model. But this, for the moment, I am part of nature and cannot be separate from nature. I am a configuration of atoms. You are a configuration of atoms. And if I move my hand like this, I'm displacing atoms. So there is no empty space between us. And that makes it a matrix. It makes it a matrix, basically a simulation. We're simulations. But then the whole objective is for the simulation to become more and more control itself, and this becomes the game. So it goes from being a two-player game, it goes to be a multiplayer game. But if you want to play the game, you have to learn how to control yourself. You have to learn how to think for yourself. You have to learn how to watch everything. You have to learn how to play the fucking game. But there's lots of little games. For example, once you understand that you're, as I say, once you understand that you're a part of nature and cannot be separate from nature, then it's about understanding nature, because it's inevitable. If you can't understand yourself, if you can't understand nature, you can't understand yourself. If you were a part of nature, if you don't understand nature, you can't understand yourself. Now you might say, oh, I am this, I am that, I am a fucking lift engineer, I am fucking David Conroy, but that's superficial. That's superficial shit. Now, we'd have Tolle tell you to lay off the I am, but he'd be all for you not identifying with anything, only the collective. But this is the first game. The first game is to remain an individual. And not as part of the collective. Don't be part of the hive mind. Think for yourself, move for yourself, act for yourself, be an individual. And this is the first game. And then as individuals, we can work together for mutual benefit against the rest of the game. Do you understand? So then if we seek to understand nature, the first thing we must understand is the universe is a will to power. and nothing else besides. We are a will to power and nothing else besides. Now this is what drives the dominance hierarchy. This will to power. This will to power. Now, am I a will to power? Yes, I am a will to power. They tell you I'm going to build an empire. But I'm going to do it strategically. It's about controlling that will to power. Controlling that will to power. I have absolutely no wish to dominate anybody or control anybody. Only myself. That's the first will to power. Is to control myself. You don't control me. I control myself. But we work together. We work together. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to try and control anybody, but we can work together. And I'd like them to afford me the same courtesy, but that's not always the case. Like, for example, sometimes when you move somewhere, they can say, oh, you're the boss, but you very quickly wants to notice your energy or how you move or how you act. You're very quickly reduced to the toilet cleaner. But then I have to mitigate this. You know what I mean? I have absolutely no problem cleaning the toilets because I have my own game. I have my own strategy. I have my own way of working. Do you know what I'm saying? But the first move is to dominate you. And first of all, if you're not a threat, there's no need to dominate you. You're a sheep. They can just control you as a sheep. They can control you as part of the herd. But this is the first thing, and men in particular. I don't know women the same. No, the first thing people do is to move to dominate you, move to impose sanctions on you, move you to get you to conform with as they see fit. You know what I mean? I don't like this. I don't like that. Who gives a fuck what you like? But you play the game. And that's why, I'm happy to clean the toilets, but at the same time, I watch everything, I see everything, and I move. You know what I mean? I stay in control of myself. No one gets to control me. And if they ever try to strong arm it, I'm out there. Gone. And especially when people see you with nothing. They see a slave. They see an opportunity. They seek to enslave you. They might even try to control you through money. You know what I mean? But they try to control you through money. But you see, if you don't hanker after the money, you don't give a fuck for the money. It's very hard for them to control you. This is why, like drugs, like anything else. You see me smoke here. You see me drink. You see me drink coffee. But at the same time, I've none of them now. I've no cigarettes. I don't even have coffee now. I don't have the price of coffee. But that's perfectly okay. I'll just wait. And when the opportunity presents itself, I will have money for coffee. But when I'm given the money for the coffee, but if I'm hankering after it and saying I need, now I'm going to be very easily dominated because all someone has to do is serve this need. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all they have to do is serve this need. All they have to do is offer me a job or offer me some work. But everything is on my terms because I don't need shit. Do you know what I mean? I don't need shit. So far I have what I've always had up to now. I have a roof over my head and I have food. I get food. The universe gives me food, so I'm happy. And so that's the first part of playing the game. Have a concept of I. You must understand who you are. But as I said yesterday, psychologists all say, who are you? Identify yourself. But this is just regurgitating shite. Because if the thing with psychology is they just see everybody as a thing in themselves and not as a part of nature. As a thing in itself means that you are completely independent from nature, that you are, the egotistical perspective is that we are above all other animals. We are a higher animal. But if you're not thinking for yourself and you haven't developed your faculty of reason, I have to tell you now, you are not a higher animal. You are a lower animal. No different than a dog or a cat or a fish or anything else. You just act according to your nature. You're not thinking for yourself, or you're being controlled by the herd, which is nature, which don't think for themselves either. You're just a pawn in a game. You're a non-player character, but you're most certainly not a higher animal. Higher animals have free will. They get to choose. Higher animals have free will, so they stay in control of themselves. That's what a higher animal is. Lower sheep have to be farmed. Sheep have to be farmed. And then the person who's farming them has wool and lamb chops. And that's what drives the dominance hierarchy. The wool and lamb chops. The wool and lamb chops. And that's what people become. Wool and lamb chops. Because it's all about herding the sheep and just taking their money, which becomes the whole power thing. And then when you think for yourself, you have to question everything. Like yesterday I spent a day questioning the intrinsic value of gold. In other words, what value has gold? What value has gold? It has fuck all value. You're hanging around your neck to look like a fucking Asian and be part of the herd. Oh, look, I have gold, I have gold. You know, who gives a fuck what gold you have? But you can do fuck all with the gold. You can't make machinery out of it. You can't make fucking weapons out of it. What are you going to do with the fucking thing? It's nearly a worthless metal, like. And the only thing that makes it valuable is a concept. A concept. Oh, it's rare. It's rare. Yeah. That doesn't make it valuable. It's practically useless. Like sure, like you get the odd person that's rare or an individual, but they might be fucking useless. And what good are they if they're useless? Like, what's my use for it? What's my use for it? And you must ask this for everything. What is my use for it? And same about people. What is my use for you? What is my use for you? What is my use for you? And that's what I say about the same about decimating the ranks in this podcast. Anyone who's offended can fuck right off because they're of no use to me. They're of no use. Being offended is a choice. Choose not to be harmed and you won't be. But words are only spells. But that's the most important thing to take from this podcast today. Res non verba. Deeds, not words. Judge a man by his deeds, not his words. And if you don't know his deeds, you have to just suspend judgment and stand back and stay looking. Stay looking. Stay looking. Don't if you don't know the actions, stand back, but don't mind the words. Res non verba. Deeds, not words. Good morning.